Welcome to the Secrets of College Planning. I'm your host, Anthony Uva, and today we're going to get some insight into sports and at the college level. My guest today is Denise Thompson. She is the Senior Associate Athletic Director of External Operations and SWA at Manhattan College. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, so usually I start my guests where they went to college. So where did you go to school?
I attended Fairleigh Dickinson University, the Metropolitan Campus in TMAC.
Wow.
Yeah.
So let's just go back in time before we get started on Manhattan College. When did you start thinking about going to college? Was it freshman year, senior year? When did it all begin for you?
For me, it probably was junior year.
Okay.
I just always knew it was there, but you're buying your time as a high school student before you have to really get down to business on what you're going to do. So I'd probably say it was probably junior year where I really started looking into it.
So now, did you play sports or?
I did. I originally had started being a basketball student athlete as well as track and field, and then I decided to go full-time in track and field, which in high school is winter and spring track. So I ended up being a track and field student athlete.
And was Fairleigh Dickinson the only school that was recruiting you, or?
Yes. And the crazy connection, everything in athletics is a connection. And so for me, it was one of my assistant coaches had actually attended Fairleigh Dickinson University, had told the current coach who he had ran with while there, and had basically got my name across when he had found out that I was interested in FDU. But also, when I was in high school, we were running our county championships at FDU, which is how I even knew where the campus was and anything about it.
Wow, fantastic. So now, you go from high school, you go to Fairleigh Dickinson University. What's the school like?
It's a small metropolitan campus about 10 minutes south of New York City, and it's great. For me, I'm someone who's like, oh, you want to be in sports, you want to be in a big city, but I'm also someone who doesn't want to wake up early. So for me, with it being a small campus, if my dorm was right here, then the school, my class was right across the street. So for me, I like the conveniency of the campus, of being able to get around, but also with it being so close to New York City, it allowed many opportunities, whether you were going to do an internship or to go into city, to truly try and broaden your experience, and especially maybe what the professors might ask you to do for class assignments.
Right, exactly. So now you graduate from Fairleigh Dickinson. How does one graduate from Fairleigh Dickinson and end up as the Senior Associate Athletic Director at Manhattan College?
Well, I'll say it actually started back my freshman year, where I had done some work study in the athletics department. And then going into my senior year, so I was still in my junior year, my athletic director at the time had asked me what I was going to do for my internship. And I had said, I'm just going to go work at the school newspaper. And he said, please go see Sarah upstairs in athletic communications. And like a true student, I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. 2 weeks later, hey, Denise, did you go upstairs? No, politely, no. He drags me upstairs, not literally, but yes. And the rest is history. So I end up interning with them for a semester, and then I do the rest of my actual work study with them for me until I graduate.
Wow.
And then through there, this is my career, starting in communications, background in graphic design, and got a post-grad internship at the University of Memphis back in years that I won't say because then it'll explain my age. And then after that, I went to Texas State University as an assistant director of sports information. I was there for 5 years. It was great, gave me an opportunity, especially being from New Jersey originally, to just go and see other parts of the country.
Sure.
But while there, I knew that I wanted to lead my own office. And so at that time, I decided to start looking for another career while I also studied and got a master's degree while I was at Texas State. But from there, I said, I want to lead my own office. An opportunity came up at Northern Arizona University, which people might think, oh, it's hot there. No, it's not. At 7,000 elevation. You cannot breathe, but it's a very beautiful place to live. So when I go there, I become the assistant AD for communications. And a random fact is, at that time, I was the only African-American female to lead a communications office in a non-HBCU university.
Wow.
And so for me, that was a great experience to have, but also knowing as a background that I want to uplift others for the different opportunities that there are there. I was poached from NAU by Andrea Williams, who is now with the Utah Jazz. She was a Big Sky commissioner at the time. So then I leave university side, go to conference office, where I'm there for about 3.5 years. Leave there, decide, I guess it's time to live as an adult on the East Coast, go to the University of Delaware. And then after there, I ended up at Manhattan this past December as the Senior Associate AD for External Operations and SWA.
So now, what do you actually do as a senior associate?
Man, everything. But for me, primarily, I am overseeing ticketing operations, marketing, communications, development, alumni relations, all of those things. So basically, I am in charge of bringing people to the campus. We want people to come to the game, but we also really want to storytell. And a part of that storytelling is how do you get people to know what is going out and what the student athlete stories are, and even what the coaches' stories are. And so it's my job to get to know the student athletes, get to know the coaches, so that I can better push my staff on the direction to go. So a lot of that is social media, as well as we know is everyone's favorite right now. But I really want to do more of what we're doing right now, these sit-down interviews, so that student athletes like me from ago, that someone will ask them what their story is, will hear that they were interested in teaching or firefighting, and someone might say, hey, there's an opportunity for you as well. Have you thought about this? So for me, it's storytelling. It's bringing people to our campus to attend games, but also please donate, But in order for people to donate, you want to know what story and what you're really getting behind. So that's what I do.
So now, how do you find students that want to come there?
It is a small private school in the middle of Bronx, Riverdale specifically. And so for us, it's building that connection. So whether it on the athletic side is local AAU teams or club teams, where that is also part of my job, I'm hoping that I can bring those kids in, let's say right now ages 5 to 12, for them to know about Manhattan College early on in their years, where they're attending softball games and basketball games, so that they know, like, when it comes time for your high school years, where are you going to attend? So for me, it's making those community connections early on with either leaders in the community and or just different club and AAU teams, and hoping that by the time they get high school age, they're remembering their experience and that they'll want to stay close to home. Or if it's people that maybe have come to our game an hour away, that they'll just consider Manhattan College and what we have to offer.
So now, how many sports there? What do you offer students? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, we have 19 varsity sports there. And, for us, we're offering you the opportunity to be in a small portion of the city where you can do almost anything that you want. And so for us, it is encouraging to say, hey, what do you want to do? Do you want communications? Do you want marketing? Are you actually interested in development? Right now we have one of our student athletes who came to us because he's interested in video. So he's started doing some videography for us. And, so that's what we want to say, like, whether you're in your 5th, 6th, or 7th year nowadays, or even if you were a freshman, what talents do you have? And working with them in their spare time, right? A lot of them will say, well, with class schedule and with practice schedule, when am I able to do something? But I'm never asking, and this is from the beginning, I'm never asking someone for 10, 15 hours of your time. I'm saying, do you have 2 hours here? Do you have 1 hour here? And the best thing that I can offer you is actually real world experience that you can put on your resume. And then when you're looking for a summer internship or you're looking to graduate and look for a job, that you now have a portfolio that you've built of all the experience that you've gotten while being a student athlete and or just a student.
Sure. Now, when a student athlete comes to the school, what can they expect when they come there?
They're going to expect people that actually care about them and want them to be there. It's amazing sometimes to just go to a practice and to have the post huddle and be in the huddle with them. And a lot of times you're probably thinking that administrators are going to come when something bad happens. It's like, oh man, I've been called to the principal's office. But what we want to show you is that we're supporting you all the time. I just took a road trip. I've been there a month, and I took a road trip an hour and a half up the road to see our women's basketball team play. So we're not going to just support you at home. We're going to support you on the road, but also our doors are open. Please come when you're coming to practice or before or after you're coming to see your coach. Please come and sit down and talk to us and ask us questions. We want to be here for you. Even though I'm an external, it doesn't mean that I can't answer a question about maybe career service opportunities or, hey, are there local businesses around here that might be offering an internship to me? And/or them just asking me questions about, hey, like you're asking me now.
Yeah.
What did you do in college? What was your career path? What have you learned? And any advice that they might need now to help build them for when they graduate.
So, tell me a little bit about the school. Is it a Division I school, 2, 3? What type of teams do they play against?
Division I, we are in the MAC conference with 2 A's. And so we play against Siena and Canisius and Marist, just to name a few. And we are so close because we're in New York and we're at heart that we're able to get to a lot of our conference competitors within a 2-hour radius, which a lot of people, can't say. And I think that that's also a great opportunity that you're now allowing your students to maybe drive, your fellow students to come drive and see you, or a staff member or faculty say, hey, you know what, it might be a Thursday night and it's a road game, but it's 45 minutes up the road to Fairfield. Let's go ahead and do it and drive them there. So we play a lot of schools in that metro area, so New York, New Jersey, PA area. But there's also opportunities where we're doing so many things, like our men's golf team, our conference championships are in Florida. So we're going to all these different places. Our men's basketball team actually just played in London during the Thanksgiving break, as part of a conference deal that we have. Our women's basketball team is going to Ireland, later on in November. So there's a lot of opportunities, whether it's international, in that metro East Coast area, or maybe down in Florida, where they can say, you know what, I was able to play close to home. My family can come and see me home and away. But they also, if they would like to, go ahead and go to Florida, or our basketball championships that are in Atlantic City.
Sure.
So we're providing a lot of opportunities travel-wise where maybe people don't get that.
Yeah. So we're coming to the end of our show, and usually I ask my guests, what advice you want to give to the parents and the students that are watching this? What advice do you want to give them?
Man, I would say it's just like a job. I always say, I will never go a place that I don't think that I can make a difference, right? So I would say, please choose a place where you believe they can help make a difference in your life. And whether that is, I think, especially now, location is important. For me, I wanted somewhere close to home, but not too close to home, right? Enough for mom to maybe come and give me groceries, but not enough for her to just pop up every day. So I would say location is very important, but also get to know the campus. A lot of people might be very overwhelmed. I want the big campus lifestyle. I want to be in the lecture halls of 100 people, but you have to realize, how did you excel so well in high school? Was it in 25, people in a classroom, or was it 50 in a classroom? That makes a difference, especially based off attention span and the fact that you're not home with your parents and them being able to help you with your studies and homework and keeping you on a timely schedule. But if you were on the sports side specifically, I would say make sure that you have a connection with your coach. Make sure they care about you, but also make sure that you are ready and willing to put in the hard work and dedication that it is to succeed. But also, there's more than just sport. When I was in college, I was a part of the radio station. Right, so try and do something outside of your sport as well, just so that even if it's just for spare time, just to go ahead and keep your horizons a little broader than what you maybe thought of.
Great. Well, thank you very much for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So you've been watching The Secrets of College Planning. I'm your host, Anthony Uva. Until next time.